Good morning. This is the July 24th, 2018 Site Plan Review Committee meeting. Members present this morning are City Assessor Dana Bangiaforti, Police Chief James Guido, Building Inspector Ben DeCristoforo, Frank Stringy, City Planner, Nick Rystrom, City Engineer, Paul Cheevers, Lieutenant Paul Cheevers from the Fire Department. We have Paula Gengio, DPW Superintendent, and Mark Locke, Plumbing Inspector. The first item on the agenda will be the site plan for 24 Sprague Street.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to introduce you to Luigi and Andreas, and I've been working with them on 24 Sprague Street. They've had some issues at their home in terms of some structural issues. And so we met with Mr. DeCristoforo, the building inspector, a couple of occasions, and we also met with Mr. DeMarco as well. What they're looking to do is a combination of three things. One is to replace some existing lally columns that are there that are deteriorating. So we met with Mr. DeMarco and he gave us the criteria on how many lally columns are needed based upon the formula, also the specifications of the lally columns that are needed in terms of 3.5 inch steel with concrete. And so we went over the specifications with him pertaining to, number one, the number of lally columns, number two, the specifications of that. There were two other issues at the house. One is to also put in a retaining wall, 3 foot in depth by 10 inches wide, around the perimeter of the home. And the third is they're getting some seepage of water, so they want to put almost like a perimeter drain around the house to prevent the water from coming in the future. So they've been living there for a long time, and it's at a point where they are looking to maintain the house and upgrade it and go through the proper procedures. I'm here today from Economic Development because when I met with Andreas and his wife, they felt that there would be a need to be able to just go over what the actual specifications are to be procedurally what to do. So I'm here to show them that this was the procedure to follow, and then to explain and have, if there's any questions, like I says, Mr. DeMarco, I know he's not here today, but we met with him on numerous occasions, and he gave us the right procedures to follow along with Mr. DeCristoforo, so that's what we're here for. Those three items, in summary.
John, do you have an indication where they want to put the retaining wall?
Yes. Right here. Retaining wall's right here. It's going to be going like this. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
right?
it's
All
around the house, yeah.
All around the perimeter of the house.
Yeah, it's around the
So
house.
it's all around the perimeter.
So you're going to add a retaining wall
Yes.
on the outside?
Yes.
Okay. Is this a plot plan?
Yes.
In front of the foundation then?
Yeah, so you plan on putting in front of the foundation?
Or
It's
replace
that's gotta come out. Yeah.
So you're taking the foundation out and replacing the foundation?
No.
Okay, you're just adding a...
Yeah,
correct.
add on, yes.
Okay. Is there a difference in elevation around the house? Is it a pretty flat lot?
No,
I'm
it's
not
not
familiar.
flat.
It's pretty flat.
This is, so you know the location, it's right at 24 Sprague, right across, it's behind,
Yeah.
it's a central parking lot area.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
He has it right there.
Yeah, I see it, yeah.
So you just want to divert water around the house through the retaining wall and French drain system?
Correct.
Yes.
And then support?
Yes,
add in
yes.
More structural support with lally columns.
That's inside
Yeah,
the home,
yeah,
correct.
yes, we gotta,
And what's the height of the retaining wall? John, do you know that?
I think there's 3 feet?
yeah, it's
3
3
feet
feet
deep.
by 10 inches wide.
Okay.
Yes.
It doesn't exceed 3 feet in any way?
Correct. Does not.
It doesn't seem like the structural retaining wall, it's just to prevent water.
Correct. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
3 feet's
Trigger.
the trigger for it. So as long as you're not exceeding 3 feet.
Okay. Okay.
Well, so I don't think it's going to be an actual retaining wall because it's going to be 3 feet above grade. So it's really not going to be retaining anything.
Yeah. That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
correct.
It's not retaining, it's open, the same grade on the
That's
How
correct.
far do you plan on going down?
they choose, we gotta make sure that they measure the height is literally. Yeah.
I'm just not quite sure what you're gonna accomplish by a retaining wall or a wall around the structure.
Oh, because it is wet. When it's rain, the water go through. It's a lot of humidity.
So
Yeah.
it's a fieldstone foundation, it's an old fieldstone with brick on top? Is that what-
It looked like a brick foundation, actually.
Yeah, but sometimes they'll do the fieldstone and then finish
Right,
it.
right,
with
yeah,
brick.
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. So when you're in the basement, do you see rocks in the wall and then brick?
In some part is rocks, some part is brick, or some part is just concrete.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a different foundation. Yeah.
So what happens when it rains, there's a lot of seepage.
Yeah.
How far off the foundation
Yeah.
will this wall be?
How?
How far off
From the foundation.
Oh no,
It's gonna be attached to it, Frank. I think that's the only thing.
is right. That's gonna be is around to the house, and that's gonna be 10 inches wide to the.
So they may be, this is the only issue I think from site plan review, and the rest I can take care of at the building department.
Okay.
But I think the issue, Frank, now is that the footprint may be expanded just because of that 10-inch wall. However, how are we gonna finish the top of that? So basically, the footprint's gonna expand by 10 inches, which is.
The top of the
which is
retaining wall, how do you want to finish
Not
that?
increasing the
Wouldn't it be
non-conforming
better
relative.
to just keep replacing the
Yes, that's my
foundation
guess.
section at a time?
I don't know, that's why
Almost the
we'll
same
deal with
work.
the technical issues in the office, I mean, I don't know how.
Try
Yeah,
and
but it-
erase the
I don't know
house,
what they're
take a
gonna-
section out, put a, send the
Well,
block.
there's a lot more. dollars involved.
Yeah, for you.
So I can tell you, at this point, I don't think there's any need for site plan to be involved,
Okay.
but we can talk about this back at the office. Are you gonna do the work yourself? Or do you-
No.
He is a contractor.
Contract.
Yeah, so if the contractor wants to come back to the office, we'll discuss it internally, find out if that's gonna increase the non-conformity of it.
When he digs down beside the foundation to put the wall, what's gonna hold the foundation?
Yeah, I'm
So
not
that's-
quite sure how they plan on
So it's
accomplishing this,
probably
that's
better
why.
just replace the foundation, that's all.
Either that, or you can,
Consider that.
it might, I mean, there's other options, we can discuss that at the site
Okay.
plan. So have your contractor come in, we can talk about that, all right?
Sure, good.
Talk about it. The approach I'd be looking at for this is because they almost build them, I mean, so the way they usually build these type of foundations, they use several stones and they'll tear it up and then brick it above. So usually once you have a lot of water infiltration, you need to go inside and probably repoint and then shotcrete and then do a French drain on the outside, which would probably be cheaper than trying to build a retaining wall on the backside. Just something to think about.
Either that, or you can podge the foundation,
Yeah.
waterproof it.
Waterproof
So
it.
there's other issues that are
Yeah, there's-
maybe a little more
Yeah,
effective.
there's other ways to waterproof the foundation
Yeah.
that it would,
Without building a wall.
yeah.
Yeah, we can
That
talk,
we'll discuss- we'll
we
discuss.
can, yeah, we can discuss that,
Yeah,
yeah.
lot.
We can discuss that, we'll, talk to your contractor, and then he can decide which way he wants to go.
That's
All right?
Appointment down the building department.
We'll do that.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Site plan for Pomona Street.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Do we have a parcel number or address
Yep.
for this?
113. I put everything online.
113 Pomona?
Yeah, that's for you. Yeah.
We have
281.
9, yeah, parcel 9. So it'll be identified as parcel 9 until the city engineer gives you a address.
Well, he did give us that address.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Designate 119?
113.
113. Okay. All right, Kevin, is this a single family?
Yep. Well, I download, so you guys reviewing everything online now or no?
Yes.
Are you? Because the plans
We
I
need
sent
hard
online.
copies, so-
Okay,
Yeah.
but here. All right, so here, take that.
You went, where's the plot
Dawn.
plan?
There's a letter from Dawn.
Went to ZBA?
Yep,
Oh, is that relief?
yeah.
Yeah, he had only 39-foot frontage.
Oh, wow. Did you record this yet, Kevin?
Yeah, she's recording it now.
Okay, good.
Was this a one or a two?
Single.
Single family.
You want to buy? No, there was,
It's just a vacant lot.
that was, what do you call it?
Is this the first lot on the left?
Yes.
Up the street?
Yep,
Well, it's one way, but
Yeah.
you were coming up the one way.
after Pond Fig Road.
So the
before it
last
goes
one
up.
on the right.
Yep. That was a screen house.
All right, Kevin, this is a standard site plan review.
What's the height, Kevin? I don't see the height.
29 feet.
Okay, as long as something's already.
Yep. Now, Frank, let me ask you a question. So, are you gonna, the letter that you give, you do that online now?
That'll be online.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if you're on,
I didn't fill out for my permit yet until,
you
fill out for the
uploaded
application.
all this information,
Yep.
and your email will be attached to it.
Okay.
So you'll automatically get a copy of that email to you.
Okay, and then, so now I can start my permitting process
Yep.
today when I go home?
Apply online.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay?
Okay?
You cannot until that's recorded.
Okay.
Once that document's recorded, you have to submit everything, all the documentation
Okay,
together.
but I can start downloading everything, right?
You can,
To the
you
per- to
you
the
can start your
permitting
process, don't submit it until you have a recorded copy, or you've attached a recorded copy of the variance to
Okay.
the application.
Okay.
All right.
All right, yep. Yes, I sent it to you. I sent you that. That, you can take that. But I sent you one on email, in your email. Did you get it? I sent last week. Yeah, I only brought one copy, because I sent you a hard copy. Harris Street? What was it? I'll send it to you when I leave then. I thought I sent you Pomona too. But I'll send it to you, because I usually send everything to you. Okay? You want for the plans?
No, we don't need it.
I'll keep the files like.
Okay. Thank you.
Next site plan is for 83 Bennington Street.
Where's this? Where Sasso used to be?
Yeah.
Sasso's one of those lots, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, the one that was auctioned off.
Okay.
Okay. Why don't you give an overview of the project you're proposing?
22 unit, 5 stories, ground floor with parking, proposing 20 spaces in total. 2 handicap at the code. The ground floor also does have a small lobby space as well as the 2 handicap coming down from the upper residential floors.
Is that the site, the plot plan? You can just lay that on the table, so we can take a look at it.
This is your ground floor plan, as mentioned, lobby off Bennington Street. Residential units up above. As I said, 5 stories, building designs will have steel type 1 on the first floor, type 5 going up from there. Parking layout as such, we have an entrance off Bennington Street, one way, so it comes back off on the other side of the lobby. The building is actually set back from what you see, this is the lot line. We're set back 10 feet on the left, if you're facing from Bennington Street towards the site, and 20 feet on the right, which will allow for right yard access next to the building. The building is essentially at the front in the lobby. There's 6 units per floor
Frank, do you have
until you get up to the top, which I believe is 4 units.
the variance? Copy of the variance.
No roof deck. We do have a roof access head house on the rear portion of this.
Traffic one way?
The traffic is one way on the ground floor, correct?
Let's discuss zoning relief, because you need zoning relief for this.
You have that down.
Have you obtained? They did. So you have the variance?
Yes.
Do you have a copy of the variance?
I do not have it on.
I can email it to you.
Yeah, we need to see that.
We need the,
What?
has it been recorded?
What relief were they granted?
Parking, setbacks, and possibly FAR.
Double check.
Just looking at it, yeah, parking, setbacks, and FAR.
Sprinkler room?
Yes. This room right here.
So no exterior access, just been given my access to the front lobby.
As of right now, we can simply have it on the side if that's, if you see fit.
How do we stand for water and sewer down there, Joe?
That would more likely have to have an injection system.
Yeah, it
That
does.
was injection. That
Yeah.
have to go all the way up
It's on
to
here.
Crescent Ave, Manhole by Crescent. Same route they did in the last building I put there, just beside
See it hiding on there?
Bennington Street pump station. You plan on going straight to the manhole there, or you plan on going to the one at Crescent?
I think Crescent. Stop there.
So it's a 2-inch force main going all the way to
What size of that force are they calling?
2-inch.
Those grinder pumps?
And how many units are you saying?
22.
That force main's gonna be small if you're
I
not,
think that's gonna be too small.
if you're not, using grinder pumps.
I don't know who did the calcs, but for the size
Yeah,
of the building.
I'll coincide with our civil engineer, and I'll find out what
Did you upload all these documents to,
And that is gonna be a total pump setup.
including the variance you received?
I believe so, but I can double check.
This is the lot next to that building?
We had an extension.
The lot next to where you get that
Okay,
right.
we'll need all that information. The variance is still
Right
valid.
in the front.
Yeah, next lot over, or are they all the same? Might be the second lot.
And this was also mentioned.
What's that distance? What's the front?
So this is all uploaded.
100 apiece?
50, 100. So you require a separate set plans review or?
I have a set.
You already have a set.
I'm reviewing them now.
Okay.
Do you have the stamp house
I believe so.
and the variance?
I do not have a copy of the variance.
Okay, and I'll make sure that that's up there.
Has the fire department seen these yet?
No, it's the first I'm seeing it. So, it looks like there is a hydrant in front of the lot next, it looks like there's a hydrant in the lot, front of the lot next door. So, I assume you already have flow data from here?
I'm sorry.
Do you have flow data from this hydrant yet?
I believe so. Like I said, I will have to check with the civil.
Do you know if they called you for a flow test down
I
there?
have one as recent. I haven't done it.
Alright, make sure it's within a year.
Are you putting in a gas storage separate?
Yes, yeah, in the garage area.
How's that?
Let me turn this around a second.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll have to double check.
Who are you using to do the fire alarm sprinkler design?
The fire alarm sprinkler was done by Dave.
Ensure that they follow through and complete the design before they submit. Okay. Lately, they've been submitting things incomplete or with lots of errors. They need to spend a little more attention. I'm not going to look at it. I'm just going to reject it.
Okay, absolutely. I'm sorry? Zay. Z-A-D-E, engineering.
Again, do you have the elevation plans?
We do.
And material you're using? This would be a combination of
Yeah,
brick
it's
and...
mostly cement lap siding towards the rear and back, and then the base on the front. We have called out the fiber cement paneling, and then we have a brick veneer as the backdrop of that. So the entire front area is this brick veneer. It wraps the corners approximately 10 feet at this side. I can show you in a second. And then these bays that stick out on the front are fiber cement panel. So on either side, the brick wraps.
So that's the right elevation, left elevation.
Yep.
So,
The front of the building is up here, and
all right, so this is
Bennington Street.
So this is my east, so which is my west and which is my south? I mean south and north. South and north.
Left is the south.
Left or south.
Anthony, is this similar to the building on Kimball, or is it different as far as material-wise?
Material-wise, it's very
Windows.
similar shape, obviously.
Can you correct that to go with
Yes,
north
absolutely.
and south?
These apartments or condos? I don't know.
What are you proposing, sir?
Apartments?
Apartments?
What's your breakdown of bedrooms per unit? How many two-bedroom units? Are they all one-bedroom units?
We have 2 one-bedrooms, and the rest of them are 2-bedrooms.
22 bedrooms?
I believe so. Yeah. No, that's just, apologize if, yeah, I believe it's 22 bedrooms, 2, yeah, 2. I'm sorry, it's 6 one-bedrooms. We have 16 two-bedrooms.
Yeah. So, this would be subject to soil mitigation fee, which is 110 gallons per bedroom, times the number of, times 10, times the number of bedrooms. So that fee, it'll be a site plan review letter issued, which will describe all the fees and the requirements prior to filing for a building permit. So it's also subject to the Community Improvement Trust Fund because you're building above and beyond what's allowed as of right, because you increase the FAR, and because of the number of units that are being provided based on the parking. So we'll have to calculate the number of units that you would be allowed as of right, and then add on the additional units, and there'll be a fee for those additional units. It'll be 3% of the construction cost for those additional units. So you have, so you understand that before you get a building permit. Can we take a look at the elevation plans one more time? Just put them over here so the building inspector and myself can take a look at them.
Absolutely. Dash 85 on there. I apologize. I can't take it.
Yeah, I'll need hard copies, so if you could take these out, I'll put them in the file. But that's fine for now, so we'll take a look at them.
These are the front, the other 2 are the side.
Yeah.
Front and back.
All right, so what we're looking at, front elevation, is this all glass?
Nope. It's fiber cement panel in between. Just the windows are the portion with the actual numbers on
Okay,
it, linked to the schedule. It's just those boxes.
all right. Is the front of the building facade flat, or are there any protrusions or bump
these-
outs?
It's all flat except for these 2 protrusions. Yeah. If you look at the plan underneath it, those two bays.
Okay.
So that's the two on the left.
And there are windows, and those are all windows going up. Okay.
Just to note, address is it should be 83 Bennington, there's no 85.
Okay, sure thing.
So one more time, the corners are brick,
Yep. Brick in between.
Brick in between.
These are the two bays that protrude.
yeah.
This is just a change of material, and the brick wrap approximately 10 feet on each side.
What's the color of the material that you're using for the,
We had a lighter gray to match with the red brick
yeah,
as part of the paneling scheme.
okay.
We have the full set of render, which can also be emailed to you
Yeah.
with the colors on it.
And this is also a state roadway, so you're gonna need a curb cut, you're gonna need a curb cut permit from Mass DOT. Bennington Street is a state roadway,
Yes.
so you'll need that. Along with our requirements, construction of new concrete sidewalks and granite curbing along the front of the building and planting of street trees. It'll all be highlighted in the site plan review letter that'll be uploaded and CC copy to whoever is on the email submitted these plans, okay?
The other thing too, before you put a shovel in the ground in the street, you're gonna need to talk with MWRA and get an 8M permit from them. They have 3 large mains in Bennington Street, so you're gonna need an executed permit from them before you can do anything.
One other thing I want to talk about is parking of the building, especially along the front of the site. We'd like to have that completely disguised from view, so it's okay in the rear, and so the sides and the front, if we can have that parking area, we're going to have to require that it be screened from view. So whether you bring the building facade down to ground level, or provide us with some other screening measures that we're going to use to screen that.
Do you have a preference to that, as far as screening possibly around the sides? I know
Well, I know on the
front's
sides,
a little more delicate.
the sides, I think you have open because you have parking spaces that are coming outside the building, half inside the building. And so at least along the front and one side, if you can bring the building facade material down to ground level, and
Yeah, so-
incorporate that area as part of the building, so we're not looking at street view vehicles on the building.
Well, you gotta play with that, because you got type 1, you got type 5. You can't bring type 5 into the type 1 zone.
No, I know, it would have to be all stairs construction.
Yeah.
I understand.
So we'd like to see, to submit those type of screening measures that you incorporate.
Okay.
So we'll have to have you come back, next week, show us what you plan on doing with that.
Yeah, so that's primarily the left side, because the right side actually comes all the way down.
You're fine here,
Yeah.
It's just incorporating some material here to screen this from you.
What's that?
You gotta play with 50%.
So that's an entrance, right, Frank? Or an exit?
Is that an exit there?
Yeah, that's
You know
an
what I
exit
mean,
or
right?
entrance
What's that?
You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, yeah, the 50%.
on the side, but that is an exit. Don't they come out the front?
Yeah.
That is where they go, right?
Yeah, they come out the front, Frank.
We had drawn in on the site plan as well, the small planter,
Passed it
the
down,
raised
out,
planter, I
out.
should say, on that left side, protecting that first parking space.
So I mean, we can probably do something here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you can see it.
So you are
limited on the site plan.
Yeah.
So this exit is right here.
Yeah.
That's the part that's open. We do have a raised planter that's proposed blocking that parking. But we did have that open. We didn't have a garage door or anything within that area.
Where's your site plan?
So yeah,
Right here, Frank.
you can see it.
Yeah, how wide it is.
20 feet. Oh, actually, no,
No.
it's not.
What's your curb cut length width here?
Well, this, I'm not quite sure where that's 20 feet, Frank. I don't know if it's from where to where, but
20 feet or so.
I'm assuming it's the aisle width is 20 feet. The aisle width there is 20 feet.
So this 20 feet, this dimension?
This is an existing curb cut there already.
I know, I see that.
The aisle is 20 feet. I believe this is actually slightly wider, if I'm looking at that correctly. Because this lines up with the edge, and then the edge of the building. The curb looks like it's slightly out from that.
Yeah, so. So we're looking at this, you're proposing a planter.
Basically, from the edge, the curb cut, to the edge of this side right there.
What do
And
we
that
have
would-
for a setback in the front, 3 feet?
What do we have for a setback? Yes.
3 feet.
The bays come out to the actual line. But the bays up above, they come out to the line, but the rest of the building, the mass of
It's a
the building.
3-foot overhang?
3-foot overhang, correct. And that comes, like I said, the edge of it comes up to the edge of the property.
This is the plan. So that's the, right there is the planter.
Garage access is gonna be open, so there's no drop gates or anything like that, right?
Not planned.
Okay. If it changes and gets planned, it has to operate on the fire line. Okay. So,
Absolutely. No, as of right now, it's completely open.
Yeah, so that 3-foot area in the front, we'll try to incorporate, totally landscaping that where we can. Are you proposing a raised planter bed in that area?
We hadn't proposed it on the very front of the building. That is something that we can do. We can see fit. We had only proposed it basically shielding that parking space to the left. But we do have the roof there.
I mean, you can carry it to the edge of that driveway opening. Maybe have a raised wall with we'll discuss what kind of materials you can plant there. There's not a 3-foot overhang in the building over that area, is there?
It just comes through the property line. It doesn't go over the sidewalk.
It's just where that bump out is, and it's not shown here. It's 2 bump outs. Yeah, not shown on this. So your foundation plan doesn't reflect it. Oh, the bump outs are not, they're overhanging the foundation.
Yeah, your bump outs probably would not be seen.
So we'll have to incorporate some type of screening measure along this side. We don't have any room on this side of the building, right? There's parking
No, the
spaces.
parking spaces are right against the property line on that side.
And you're proposing a fence here.
That'd be into that. We had not covered the stone one. It is something that we can propose.
where's your dumpster?
Straight back here, and this right here.
So basically next to parking space 20?
Yes.
So we'll note that change. It'll be in our site plan review letter, extending that planter, that raised planter all the way to the driveway, and incorporating a raised planter along the front of the building where you can, and landscaping that area within 4 feet, and then planting the street trees along the sidewalk. Any other questions? Get your plans submitted to the fire department for review and approval.
Frank, so one thing, so have you gone in front of conservation yet?
No, no.
You are gonna have to file a notice of intent with conservation.
So I would get that started. Those order of conditions have to be issued before you can file for a building permit.
that'll all be in your site plan review letter.
Can you leave?
Yeah, let me take this all out. Yeah, I can take it over here. I'll just take
Perfect timing. Other side.
In the back,
Yeah.
So once you incorporate those measures, how you're gonna, just give us a blow up how you're gonna do that in terms of screening the garage from the building, on one side, and come back to us next week. Okay. Do that. And we'll review those plans. In the meantime, we'll do the site plan review letter together, so look for that. Who's ever on the email, I will go to, whether it's yourself.
I'm sure I will be.
You are.
All right.
Thank you.
See you next week or the week after. And,
You would like to see that separate door too? Yeah.
yeah, because the fire department separately.
So to get that further along, Zaid stuff. Have Zaid
we
get
actually
ahold of
have, I can send them over to you.
Yeah, he just tell him to send me a drop link.
Okay.
Pull everything down that way.
Sure.
All right. So I'll do that aside from me permitting, so we get the conversation going, then we'll have a little after my comments to you permitting, make it a little smoother.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you.
Site plan, 209 Broadway.
Tom Hill. I got the job to build the new building at the top of Cheever Street, the Brazilian food mart. The owner was looking to find a location that he could put the store in while we built it, and he ended up buying the key place in the insurance agency at 209 Broadway, the key place. The left side of the building has got an insurance agency, and they haven't been able to come up with an agreement. He has a lease. So what we're asking to do is, if we could build a 16 by 20 building, like a large shed, and attach it to the building with a breezeway. The building would have fire protection. It would be a 1 hour interior cover. He'll move his meat market into the front of the building, and he'll have his 3-bay sink, his hand sinks, and grease traps and everything he needs. So the
What's the address of the building he's reconstructing?
225. So we're looking just for a temporary building while the other one's being built.
This is current dimension. This is the key guy.
It'll be finished nicely. Put a couple of windows in the door on the Beach Street side. Would be texture 111 on the outside.
And when the store's done, you're taking the building back down?
Building's done.
So totally separate from the store. There'll be
Totally.
its own entrance and
It has its own entrance. We're leaving, this is right now a common doorway, second means of egress for the 2 stores we have it coming out and going out to the side. and then you'll be able to enter the building here and there also. This will be for
No need for sewer or
groceries.
water service for this temporary building.
No water service. All the water and sewage and sinks will be in the existing key place.
So what is he storing here? Mostly vegetables and
Yeah.
canned goods?
Yep. There'll be shelves on the outside walls, one in the middle.
Visualize the site and see where that.
Greenwood Street. Broadway, that's the key place on the side, and it's gonna be here.
It's gonna be right against this corner right there. Sorry.
I don't know how it impacts the parking, because we look at parking for, but, it's these four spots, but it's in the back.
And it's roughly 10 feet from the building to the other property line on Beach Street. And there's about 20 feet from the property line to the first house on Broadway. The building line, not the property.
Oh, this guy. Yeah, or remote.
It's a temporary building, otherwise you would need variances. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we have to talk to the solicitor. So Tommy, what are you gonna, what type of foundation are we talking?
And just put them on blocks.
On blocks?
Yeah. It'll be about approximately 20 inches off the ground. I'll skirt in the bottom to make it.
So you're gonna put up this temporary building, then demo the other
Demo
building.
the other building, build the new building, and he's gonna move into that.
What are we talking for time?
Probably 6 months.
For this 6 months? So 6-month temporary building.
Yeah, let's talk to the solicitor.
This entrance would be on Beach Street?
Yes.
So including, this, is this a breezeway or?
Yeah, it's a breezeway, but it's the second means of egress out. Yeah.
So including that,
These
it's
two.
5 feet, so it's 21 feet from the building.
Yes. And I believe I got 12 feet to the
Still
fence.
have 12 feet.
Yeah. And this way I got about 25 feet.
Because we have two parking spots.
T111 for the exterior
Yeah.
and
Yes.
the regular shingle roof.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of work for just a temporary building.
It's
Somebody
got
wants to
quite
do
the business
it.
there.
Imagine. Okay.
You want me to leave one?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So how does that work? You let me know? Check a week from now or something?
Yeah, did you upload these with the
No, I
permitting?
didn't. I'm doing for that, just check the rest. Okay?
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
That's it? It's not on the agenda, but.
What address do you have, Paul?
46 Arcadia Street.
46.
Take it as a late arrival.
I don't have a whole lot of, I don't even own it, I'm just here preliminary. Try to buy it from Wells Fargo, it's been in foreclosure for 10 years. I made a phone call, I went in the building department, they did say it was a legitimate two-family. My question is, there's a massive order of conditions to correct on here, so 23 pages. I did have that, sorry, I think I gave it to my attorney, just a negotiating tool. What I'm wondering is if I keep it as a two-family, stay on the same footprint, I know that there's some issues with the foundation. I can brace the foundation, either with some helical piles on the inside and pour it on the wall. The building itself is 13, 14 feet lower than the rest around, and I know I'm gonna need at least 2 parking spaces. So the bottom unit right now, I have no idea how it was ever approved because it sits right in the floodplain. If I'm able to put 2 cars underneath and get a second floor, that'd be 1 unit, and a third floor, that would be another unit. And then I would have an additional parking space in the driveway for each unit. I mean, in an ideal world, I'd love to tear it down, but I don't think I have room to do like side-by-side, side-by-side townhomes, a little duplex. But if I go up, I can give each floor would have about 1,100, maybe 1,200 square feet. I could do a 2-bedroom, 2-bath in each unit.
So I can tell you right now, so it looks like, it appears from, I haven't seen this document, but it appears that one of the units is in the base flood elevation.
Correct, and that's what I'm saying is if I remove that and I just, the demarcation becomes second floor is 1 unit, third floor is 1 unit, and I use that where that unit is as a garage. And ironically, if you see the side, they just closed it off with some sheetrock and they used it to
Are you talking here?
yeah, the small garage, the little motorcycle garage.
Yeah. So the recent amendment,
Yeah.
3 stories, we have to have a
Size.
Would the first floor be considered a story?
Lot size, correct.
It's a lot size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Benny, wasn't there significant structural issues in here?
Yeah, so there is an order to correct, that's above and beyond, yeah.
I mean, basically, if you keep it as is, just about everything is gonna kind of go.
There's structural issues with it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna correct all those?
Yeah.
Sure it's not cheap to tear it down.
It might be. It might be. The only issue is if you tear it down, you're hoping to get something a little larger, but on that, I don't know how much more you can get on that footprint.
It's gonna just be really fine.
But it's very tough.
Yeah. Yeah, no. That's why we're negotiating a fairly low price on it and go from there. As I was telling the gentleman, in an ideal world, if you use both floors, the first floor will become parking, 1 parking for each unit, and then 1 parking, and then the second floor will be a whole unit by itself, and the third floor will be a whole unit.
I was in the building.
Yeah, it's a disaster.
I don't know how it's an existing 2-family.
Yeah.
You can't even use that basement unit.
This is gonna require a special permit for the ZBA because you're doing substantial renovations, more than 50% of the building. It's basically reconstructing a non-conforming structure.
Correct.
So we need a special permit for the ZBA. Provide us with elevation plans and floor plans and a plot, certified plot plan. To give you a denial letter, and seek relief from the ZBA.
Okay, once you get the denial letter, then you're going to file with the ZBA.
Yes.
Okay. And everything else is just pending ZBA approval.
Yeah.
Okay.
They try to stay as close as you can to the existing footprint
Mhm.
of the building without expanding it.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much, the back has a little room to expand, but I just, you know, if you run into the same peak that I've run into in that area, it's just another issue. But at least there's a little more room on this lot to work in, as opposed to some of the other lots in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it seems like they put a special condition, it's only a studio unit for that second unit, two-family, so
Right.
you'll have to maintain that as a studio unit.
So basically, your best bet is I mean, in other words, correct and keep it as is for the most part, because you're not gonna get.
Well, I could tell you that
Yeah.
I don't think you'd be able to do that because of the fact that right now you have a massive audit to correct, you can hit substantial renovation, and it appears one of those units is in the floodplain.
Correct, yeah. That's,
So you would not be able to maintain that unit in the floodplain,
okay,
and you'd have to file a notice of intent with the Conservation Commission.
okay. All right, well, this was a good starting point anyway.
All right.
I don't wanna waste, thank you, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
That concludes the site plan review committee meeting for July 24th, 2018.